As President of the United States, I will always put America first. Just like you, as the leaders of your countries, will always and should always put your countries first.
So Donald Trump approved a $40 billion bailout for Argentina. How is that America first? You would think that these Trump supporters will get tired of being lied to, but somehow they don't care. It's weird.
All my Democrat friends, calm down. We are not just giving Argentina $20 billion in cold hard cash. I've had so many people ask me how I feel about Donald Trump just giving Argentina $20 billion. How is that America first? We aren't giving them $20 billion. We are swapping currency. The U.S. will be repaid and receives a commitment from the government of President Javier Milei to align the U.S. interests and reduce Chinese influence.
You ever wake up, pour yourself a strong cup of coffee, and realize you're living in a simulation where America first somehow means Argentina first, farmers last, and billionaires always? Yeah, same. Before we dive in, quick shout out to everyone who's been fueling my caffeine addiction through those super thanks. Seriously, every sip tastes like democracy with a hint of sarcasm. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. And to all of you who watch, share, and think out loud with me, thank you. I see those comments, every single one of them. You all bring the kind of insight and humor that makes this community what it is, a small corner of the internet where critical thinking still pays rent. Now, I know most of my audience isn't MAGA, you've told me many times, but I also know some of you quiet Trump supporters sneak in here once in a while. Yeah, I see you, sitting there, scrolling in silence, pretending you just stumbled across the channel, and honestly, I hope you stay. Because if there's one thing we're doing here, it's pulling back the curtain on all this chaos, one FAFO at a time. So let's talk about this $40 billion not a bailout Trump just handed Argentina, or as MAGA likes to call it, a currency swap, which, spoiler alert, is just fancy Wall Street code for we gave them money and crossed our fingers they don't blow it. And while US farmers are literally begging for support, hospitals in red states are closing, and Americans can't afford insulin, the so-called America First movement just financed another country's economic rehab program. So grab your coffee, or something stronger, because this one's got everything: hypocrisy, denial, and a $40 billion FAFO special you didn't order, but still have to pay for.
What do you have to say to U.S. farmers who feel that the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, as they are
Argentina's fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. Nothing's benefiting Argentina. They're fighting for their life. You understand what that means? They have no money. They have no anything. They're fighting so hard to survive. If I can help them survive in a free world, I happen to like the president of Argentina. I think he's trying to do the best he can. But don't make it sound like they're doing great. They are dying. All right? They're dying.
What do you mean by... Mr. Trump, see this? I was your supporter. I was your supporter. I used to love you. But don't you dare give any of my money. Don't you give $20 billion of our money to the leader of Argentina so that he can just give it over to Netanyahu.
We have some big news right now. The Argentina bailout from the United States has doubled to $40 billion. Previously, the United States was going to send $20 billion of your taxpayer dollars to Argentina to bail the country out. Now it's just doubled to $40 billion.
I swear some days I need a second cup of coffee just to survive the headlines. Trump gives Argentina $40 billion. $40 billion. Meanwhile, folks here are getting their SNAP benefits cut. Of course, MAGA loyalists rushed in. It's not a bailout, Glenn. It's a currency swap. Yeah, and when I overdraft my account, that's not being broke. That's a temporary liquidity adjustment.
All my Democrat friends, calm down. We are not just giving Argentina $20 billion in cold hard cash. I've had so many people ask me how I feel about Donald Trump just giving Argentina $20 billion. How is that America first? We aren't giving them $20 billion. We are swapping currency. The U.S. will be repaid and receives a commitment from the government of President Javier Milei to align the U.S. interests and reduce Chinese influence. The $20 billion is a currency swap line with Argentina's central bank, not a direct cash grant. It is intended to stabilize Argentina's financial markets and bolster its struggling currency. I hope this helps you guys out. The more you know. Y'all have a good afternoon. God bless you.
No, it's not true. Did you bother to look any of this stuff up before you decided to come rage post on my last video? Did you look this up at all? Because he didn't give him $40 billion. Not even close. In fact, there was no money lent at all. No, instead what they did is they allowed Argentina to purchase $20 billion worth of US dollars to inject liquidity into their system. Because I don't know if you know this, probably not, Argentina's been going through some economic challenges. At one point recently, they had up to 300% inflation. They brought it down quite a bit. I think it's about 40% now. But one way that you solve that is you inject liquidity of somewhat stable currency into your economy. And that's exactly what they did. So the Trump administration allowed them to purchase a whole bunch of US dollars using pesos, and then will over time consider loaning them their pesos back, which they will then repay with interest. And then on top of that, another $20 billion was made available to them, not from the government at all. No. It's from banks and investors here in the United States to purchase debt instruments of Argentina to further help their economy. You see, this is what happens when you let people lie to you.
Let's simplify. A currency swap is when the US hands Argentina our strong dollars, and in exchange, we get their pesos. They'll supposedly pay us back later, assuming their economy doesn't crash again. And given that Argentina's defaulted 9 times, I wouldn't bet a Dunkin' Donut on it. It's like lending your buddy gas money when his car doesn't even have wheels. But MAGA loves it. They'll tell you it's strategic. Right, strategic the way setting your kitchen on fire is a new cooking method. These are the same people who cry socialism every time someone mentions free college or affordable health care. But hand another country $40 billion? Totally fine. Apparently, socialism's okay as long as it's international.
Hi, this message is for the Democratic Party. We do not want to give illegal aliens money. Open the government back up. We should not be paying people that are not citizens of this country. America money should not be. Sorry, but money that the American citizens should be getting but doesn't, should not go to illegal immigrants. All the Democratic Party is doing is hurting the American citizens. And guess what, Democrats? Elections do come back around. You can be voted right out of your spot with somebody who's actually going to care about the American citizens in this country. Bye-bye, Democrats. You can be replaced.
Meanwhile, for Argentina, what's the benefits for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. Very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America. If Argentina does well, you're going to have others following, and a lot of others are.
Hey, MAGA, why are you so damn quiet about the $40 billion that Trump's given to his buddy down there in Argentina? I thought it was America first. I thought it was no bailouts. No bailouts even for Americans. People have been having a hard time even giving farmers money that need it so desperately because of what he's done with the tariffs. And then, and then you have them countries down there going behind our back, making deals with China and other powerful nations around the world. This man only looks out for himself, but you're not going to talk about it, are you? You're going to push it under the rug and the carpet. Doesn't bother you, right? Because Trump's doing it. It doesn't make any sense to me, because if it was Biden, Obama, anybody that was doing this, giving that money out like that, you'd be throwing a tantrum. I can't believe he's giving our money away, our hard-working money, while he's also talking about cutting EBT, SNAP benefits from millions of families during the holidays, next month, Thanksgiving. Is your elderly relative going to be affected? Is your mom? Is your sibling? Is your niece? Is it somebody you love or care about? And if not, do you really even give two shits about them anyways? Because it doesn't affect you. But it will one day. And you'll remember this. And you'll remember what that man did to you. But I think you'll hang your head in shame, because you won't be able to admit it. Shameful. Bye.
You ever notice how it's always somebody else's fault? That's the classic MAGA defense mechanism right there. Blame the illegals, blame the Democrats, blame anyone who isn't wearing a red hat. Because admitting the truth? That would mean facing the fact that maybe, just maybe, they picked the wrong guy.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but please stop blaming Trump on the government shutdown. It has nothing to do with Trump. There's a thing called Congress, and you have people like Maxine Waters, Hakeem Jeffries, who wants to vote against the Republicans to provide health care, shelter, and food stamps for illegal aliens when you have Americans in this country who needs help right now. So the government shutdown has to do with them bickering back and forth, debating, voting on bills, going against each other, vetoing bills. It has nothing to do with Trump. Stop blaming Trump. You people need to start following politics and paying close attention. I suggest you guys watch C-SPAN. That's where they vote on Capitol Hill on all the bills. And Trump is not there. It's Congress. It's the Democrats and the Republicans. And you guys need to pay close attention. It's not Trump. Leave Trump out of this.
You dumb fuck Democrats. When are you going to realize the reason you're not getting food stamps is because of the politicians who are Democrats? The Republican politicians want to pass and get the government opened again so you can have your food stamps. It's the Democrats stopping that from happening. So don't be mad at Trump. He's not doing anything wrong. He's not the one fucking voting in Congress. Be mad at your fucking Democratic politicians who are basically holding your food stamps hostage.
I heard at school today that the government shutting down is all the Democrats' fault. So I decided to look into it. Here's what I found. Sources in the caption. Okay, so right now, the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. That means they basically hold the purse strings when it comes to government funding. But here's the twist. Democrats are refusing to just pass a plain funding bill because it doesn't protect health care. If the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire, people's insurance premiums could go up by more than 75%. And the congressional office even warned that up to 4 million people could lose their health insurance in the next decade if these subsidies aren't extended. So Republicans are saying Democrats are stalling and holding us hostage. But Democrats are saying we're not about to let our families get crushed by insane healthcare prices just so politicians can look tough. So is it really fair to just blame the Democrats? Republicans literally control all three branches right now. If they wanted a clean deal, they could push it through. But instead, we get the blame game. While regular people like us are going to be the ones who end up paying the price.
When you invest your identity, your pride, your sense of belonging into a political figure, it's not just politics anymore. It becomes emotional real estate. And when that house starts to burn, you don't run out. You stand there saying, nope, it's just a little smoke. Everything's fine. So even as Trump sends billions to Argentina, billions that could fund hospitals, SNAP benefits, Medicaid, or maybe just help struggling families, they won't question it, because questioning it would mean admitting that America First was just a slogan, not a strategy. And psychologically, it's easier to believe that the Democrats ruined everything than to accept that your own movement got played. It's a mix of cognitive dissonance, that mental tug-of-war between what's true and what you want to be true, and good old-fashioned denial. Humans hate feeling wrong, especially when being wrong means being betrayed by the person they worshipped. That's why you'll see the same people cheering cuts to food programs and healthcare saying, Yeah, that'll teach those lazy liberals. Meanwhile, their own states are feeling the pinch. Their kids are losing access to benefits. And somehow they still think it's Joe Biden hiding the snap cards. It's delusion disguised as patriotism. And look, I get it. Nobody likes feeling like they've been duped. But you can't fix what you won't face. If MAGA voters could just zoom out for a second, they'd see it. The same government that told them no handouts is handing out billions overseas. The same leaders shouting America first are making sure America comes last in everything that matters. Education, healthcare, stability, empathy. And yet when you point that out, you're the enemy. You're woke or naive or part of the problem. But maybe the real problem is the inability to separate loyalty from logic. Because in the end, this isn't about Democrats versus Republicans. It's about people versus propaganda. And until more Americans wake up to that, they'll keep voting for leaders who call it strength when really, it's just selfishness with a flag on it.
I want to be 100% clear. We are not cutting SNAP because we are shut down. We are cutting SNAP because the administration had decided not to spend the reserves at the USDA in November and to deny people their benefits. So we have the money. We don't have to do any fancy, complicated thing that we can't do during a shutdown. There's $5 billion there in reserves. In case you haven't heard, we had $20 billion to give to Argentina. And we're building a new ballroom on the White House. So we seem to have plenty of money.
There is enough money to bail out Argentina with $20 billion. There is enough money to purchase a brand new aircraft for $173 million for the Homeland Security Secretary. There is enough money to renovate the White House ballroom. What there's not enough money for under this Republican government is you. There's not enough money for you. And it is astonishing to me that the party in charge of the government literally won't show up to work during the second longest shutdown in American history. House Republicans have been gone for more than a month. More than a month. They've worked 2 weeks out of the last 3 months. Nice work if you can get it. You were all here. We were here. 2 weeks out of the last 3 months, they've even been in the United States Capitol. And so there is only one way out of this shutdown, and it starts with the House of Representatives reporting for duty.
Attempting to explain how giving $40 billion to Argentina somehow makes sense is wild, especially when you realize that millions of Americans back home can't even afford Thanksgiving dinner this year. What's even sadder is that some MAGA believers still think SNAP benefits are a Democrat thing, as if red state families don't use them too. Newsflash, a huge chunk of the people relying on those benefits are in conservative states. The same states that keep voting for the folks cutting them. And I thought America First was supposed to mean taking care of America first. But I guess for some of these diehard MAGA loyalists, it's more like America First, except when we're sending billions overseas. It's honestly heartbreaking and a little mind-blowing at the same time. Watching people cheer for policies they clearly don't understand, all because they've been convinced that empathy equals weakness.
Look what the cat dragged in.
So we had grocery delivery today. Okay. Babe, how did we pay for the groceries?
With money.
Elaborate.
Money we get in our paycheck.
Our debit cards, not our SNAP benefits.
Good little boy. Are you going to give him a treat?
So the word of the day is J-O-B. Job. Get your ass up, get a motherfucking job, and pay for your goddamn groceries if you are so afraid of losing your benefit.
Cruella, darling, you're making a spectacle of yourself. Speaking of spectacles, those glasses are hilarious. The word of the day is private, as in you're probably going to make your profile private because you're going to get a lot of crap from people over this bad take. So I did a deep dive on your channel, and it looks like you quit 2 jobs just over the last summer. So I'm guessing you're unemployed now. Is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you used to be a retail manager, and you probably hired a whole lot of part-time workers who qualified for food stamps because they weren't getting enough hours to feed themselves. Does that sound about right? Corporations are greedy, aren't they? But I guess you don't need a job, because it looks to me like you're running a puppy mill over there.
How many dogs can you fit in a kennel?
I don't know, honey. How many dogs can you fit into an inhumane cage? And that just makes me wonder what kind of parent you are. So I dug a little bit deeper.
I wasn't a good parent. I thought going out and hanging out with my friends was much more important than being at home and raising a baby. So just because I did that didn't make me a good mother.
But it looks like you've changed since then, because you found Jesus, didn't you?
You need to love Jesus, and you need to love the way Jesus loves.
No shit. When are you going to start acting like Jesus? It's because of people like you that I'm no longer a Christian, but I do remember that Jesus loved the poor and he fed the hungry. He did not mock them with profanity-laced tirades because he had more food on his table than they do. I'm going to tag you in the comments because I have a feeling that my viewers are going to have a few choice words for you. So stick around and read the comments before you go private. And TikTok, you know what to do. Get in that comment section and let this woman have a piece of your mind.
Just saw a video also too of a MAGA guy saying, I'm okay knowing that people are going to go without food stamps if my groceries are going to be 30% cheaper. Where the fuck are you getting this number at, 30%? Are you thinking because people are not having groceries or buying them that they're going to be cheaper for you? I swear, never in my life have I ever been so fascinated by stupid fucking people. By people who literally think collectively as a bunch of fucking morons. Who think that people who are not going to be getting groceries can somehow get 30% off their food. Make that make sense. Like, that's fucking the dumbest thing you could ever fucking think of.
In case anyone still believes the myth that Donald Trump is America first, explain why he was more interested in spending $40 billion in Argentina to make sure that his right-wing buddy got reelected instead of making sure during a government shutdown that people don't go hungry and federal workers get their back pay. The worst part is that this grift isn't even a secret. He was wide open about it and specifically said that if Milei did not win the election, he would not be bailing out Argentina. And the polls showed that this election was close, with experts saying that this may not have been the outcome of the race had Trump not gotten involved. All I'm saying is there's literally nothing America first about spending $40 billion to buy a foreign election while people at home are going hungry.
You know, the thing about all this, it's almost poetic. $40 billion to Argentina, while Americans are rationing groceries and praying the gas light doesn't come on before payday. And somehow, this is being sold to us as smart economics. But let's be real. If your house is on fire, maybe don't send the water hose next door. That's not strategy. That's self-sabotage with a press release. What gets me is how the same folks defending this handout are the ones losing the most from it. Families in red states watching their hospitals close, SNAP benefits disappear, and prices climb, all while chanting America first. I guess nobody told them the fine print says Argentina first this quarter. Next video, we're breaking that down. The snap cuts, the ripple effects, and how ideology can make a man starve while he's still shouting about patriotism. If you made it this far, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with a friend who still believes trickle down is a real economic plan. I'm Glenn. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for thinking out loud. And as always, keep your facts hot and your empathy stronger than your Wi-Fi signal. See you in the next one.